What's up, everyone? Yeah, gonna be doing some Rust development, specifically for financial standards. I've got a couple repos I'm gonna end up contributing to, hopefully, today. And yeah, we'll also go through like a basic setup of how to get the how to get your Windows environment set up for this. I generally don't do dev on Windows. I usually do it on Linux. When I do things in Windows, it tends to be like WSL, so this will be a slightly new setup. Cool. So, basic setups here. A couple things that I've done in advance. I've installed VS Code rather. I have Docker Desktop, and I have WSL turned on for this machine. So, first thing, we'll go through some Docker settings. Yeah, so all this is fine. Yeah, WSL2 engine, that's right. And so WSL2 is spec for Windows. Basically, Windows changed how they work. So, or how it works. So there is now like a VM hypervisor that runs under the hood. And, WSL runs as a VM on top of that. So it's actually, reasonably fast. Separately, the Windows desktop, also a VM running on top of this, as of like Windows 10 or something. I don't know. Which is wild to find out. Anyways, that's my understanding. I could be wrong, as with anything. Cool, so set this up, start Docker Desktop, open, I don't really care about that. Resources. Yeah, it's gonna store. Yeah, okay. That's fine. We might need to bump that up. Directory sharing, bind mounted into containers. Not gonna worry about that just yet. Network is fine, although I might want host. And WSL, sure. Default WSL distro, sure. Yeah, I'm not gonna mess with that. This is fine. Kubernetes, I'm not gonna run. I'm not doing anything with Kubernetes. Yeah, I got this from Microsoft Store. I don't know if there's better or worse versions of that, but okay. GPU. Oh, yeah, Docker. AI crap. Alright, cool. So that's it for Docker. Alright, let's switch to VS Code. Cool. So for this one, I want to check some things out. So specifically, we've got a MIC crate that we're trying to use, or update rather. So this was constructed by a friend of mine, and it's in his repo, but I have like push access to it, so that's fine. And we're gonna try and get the next release of this out, because I actually need this for work. But it's open source, so cool. All right, so this particular repo, just a standard Rust repo, so we're gonna figure out how to get this to run inside of VS Code with a dev container, right? So if you notice from this, there is a dev container set up here, which should be pretty correct. Let me see here. Yeah, that all looks reasonable. That looks reasonable. So we got for post attach. Yep, that's all good. Post create. Does cargo bin install. Okay, that's good. All right. And there's some other stuff that I've since learned in other environments that I might end up adding to this, but we'll see what we are doing. So we started with the parser, and under tests, a couple months out of date, right? So as kind of a background, MIC is, so this standard is the market identifier codes, right? And so ISO provides these XML files, these big ugly things, which have 4-digit MIC codes, so like FNFX, right? And that describes the Fenix FX ECN market, right? Like New York Stock Exchange is in here as well. And so this is like how you can tell. So here's XNYS, which is a segment MIC, which is the NYSE National dark market, according to this, right? Right, and so, yeah. So there's multiple of these. NYSE National Incorporated. Yeah. Yep, so New York Stock Exchange is the operating XNYS MIC. That makes sense. Right. Legal entity name is this. Legal entity ID is this. Maybe we'll get into those rates as well today. But yeah, country code is US. City is New York, NYSE.com. Yeah. This is New York Stock Exchange, right? This is like international financial description put out by ISO of New York Stock Exchange. So if somebody like trades stock on the New York Stock Exchange, the electronic records of that are going to have typically XNYS as the like market that the exchange happened on. If that makes any sense. So let's start getting this done. So first thing we want to do, figure out how to develop in a container. So we've got GitHub, VS Code, dev containers tutorial. Cool. So we have Docker desktop. Yep. We have VS Code. Yep. This is going through Mac, which kind of sucks, but whatever. Check Docker. Yep. Install the extension. Okay, so let's see. Do we have the extension involved? It does not look like it. Okay. So switching over to VS Code, you look at the extensions. All right, so we need the dev containers extension. That's cool. All right. Yeah, and that's MS remote containers. New status bar item at the far left, which is this guy. I guess it's this one. Yeah, remote status bar. Right. So clone repository and container volume, that's probably what we want. Right. Yeah, clone repository and dev container may execute arbitrary code. Sorry, I'm getting an error here. This guy. Got it. Clone repository from GitHub. Sign in using GitHub. Sure. Sure. All right. Cool. And here it is. ISO 10383. I do want the main branch. And then this is going to build the dev container based off of the contents of this repo. All right, so go back to VS Code. Yeah, down here building the dev container. Right. Linux. This is usually a one-time thing. I mean, every once in a while you'll have to do this. There we go. All right, so let's see here. 401 unauthorized from auth.docker. All right, so that sucked. Don't care about chat. Stop opening that. We'll see if this runs again. Hopefully it does. Okay, so now we're in a recovery container. Cool. Let's, this. Okay, so fail to fetch OAuth token. Yeah, fine. Docker credential helper. All right. Copy that over to browser. And the browser does this. What do we got? Fail to resolve reference. Docker login -t. All right, so is this a Docker desktop thing? I need to log into something here. Is that what's going on? Okay. Yeah, I don't need any of that stuff. I do have account settings. Unexpected status from Git request. Unauthorized. All right. All right. Apparently there's some email setting. Need to confirm. Maybe that's what's going on here. There you go. Docker, please confirm your email. Verify email. Okay, fine. Cool. All right. We need some okay. I've got a verified email now, so let's see if we can rebuild this in container. Go back to VS Code. Rebuild container. Yeah, I need to figure out how to disable that thing. Yeah, just as a general rule, try to avoid AI, at least for the actual work, right? If you're not interested in programming, don't program, right? But don't try and make the computer do it for you, because all you're going to do is get yourself into a mess, and you're going to have to hire somebody like me to come in and throw it all away and do it correctly. Like, I'm fine for the business, but like, don't, you know what I mean? Like, just save save the entire human race that time, and just, you know, either figure out how to like programming or you know, pay somebody to do it, right? Like, if it doesn't matter, sure, you can use AI, but if it doesn't work, don't be surprised. You know what I mean? All right, looks like it's going now. So I guess all I had to do was verify my Docker email or whatever. All right, so while that's building, poke around in Docker and see what it's doing. Logs viewer, that could be interesting. Filter and view container logs, maybe that's interesting. Kubernetes, KNCA, image tools, AI. Eh. Yeah. Actually, what I can do, what I should be doing, honestly, is downloading the latest MIC code data, or at least getting up to it. So 10383. Okay, that's at this website. Yeah. And here's the XML that we're looking for. Yep, so this is as of August, August 11th? Yeah. There'll be another one coming out in like 10 days, typically. But this is like valid as of right now. This is the file that we want. And this is that same like ISO blah blah blah. So that's cool. All right, let's get back to this. Wants to sign into GitHub. Cool, do so. I think I need to do that host networking stuff. All right. Yep. This is not working, so let's go back to these settings. Network, enable host networking. Yeah, so I'm trying to do the like sign in with GitHub, which opens up this 127.0.0.1, but 127.0.0.1 is not working. So I need to go back to Docker, restart everything with host networking. Yeah. And then VS Code gives me a cannot reconnect, please reload the window. All right, so we do that, fine. So VS Code is checking out. Cool. All right, application, blah, blah, blah. All right, sign in on GitHub. Allow. Now. Sign in getting somewhere. I don't know. Can't tell. All right. What are you doing? Connection refused here. Still getting connection refused. All right, so cancel that. Yeah. Okay, there we go. I just needed to do URL handler instead. That worked. Okay. So now we're back to VS Code working. Cool. All right. So we've got our containers here. Cool. All right. Choose your container runtime. Yeah, we are running on Docker. That's right. Gonna reload later. Docker files to workspace. Build an image. Yeah, I don't need to do any of that stuff. Cool. All right. So we've got our repo open here. Okay. So. All right. So we got deny toml. That's great. This cleaned up though. Okay. So I want this, and I want a new shell. I guess bash is fine for now. Okay, so next I want to set up my VS Code environment so it works really nicely. And the way you do that is you get a... oh, sorry, 1 second. Got somebody at the door. And we're back. Might get interrupted again shortly, but as of right now, we're good. Cool. So, yeah. On our setup here for dev containers, cool. Default extensions. List of extensions to always install. Default features. So default features I definitely want. So one of them is Graphite. Right, I'm looking up dev container features here. So container.dev/features. This is what we want. And so this is like stuff to install in every dev container that's running in running on this machine. Here. There we go. All right, we got the really fresh keyboard layout that I'm not totally familiar with. All right, so we want GitHub. We want. Let's see what else we want here. Fish. We want. I don't like that. Is there another version of Fish? Yeah, probably this one. Okay. So we want Fish, then back here. Okay. Let's see, what else do I want? Yeah, Graphite CLI, that's definitely, I guess I don't need that for this, but we'll add it anyways. Not strictly necessary for this, but kind of nice to have. All right. Let's see. Haskell, no. Helm file, no. P. Going through these things here. No. Not going to use any of that stuff. Nope. NeoVim. I've never liked any of those, so if I do install that, I'm going to install it myself. Yeah, no, I think we're good. Shell check, maybe. Yeah, I don't think we need it for this stuff, though. Oh, Starship. Definitely want that, yeah. Okay. All right, so what this is doing is we're setting up extensions or features. So dev containers, the basic idea is you run a development environment inside of a container, like in a Docker container. The container itself, in our case, is just running via Docker desktop. That's fine. You can run this on pure Linux with just like a Docker, like the Docker daemon. Also fine. And so what this does is it hooks into this. So we now have a container. It's running here. Right, there's a VS Code user. Right, so we're running as VS Code, obviously. And then it's going to install potentially extra stuff. So in this case, 1 second. So yeah, in this case, all of our new containers are going to start up. They're going to give me the GitHub CLI. They're going to give me the Fish shell, and they're going to give me Graphite CLI and Starship. Right, that's how that's going to work. Cool. So now we've got that set up. Default extensions. I don't think we need any additional ones. And I guess I should say that, like, dev container itself does list like a bunch of useful extensions. So in this case, GitHub Actions, pull requests, containers, Rust, TOML, and debugging. Right. That's cool. All right, next thing we want is this. I don't think we need to worry about. This is yeah, this is if we were not using Docker Desktop, we would use that. Experimental log file we don't need. Do you want to get down to is repository configuration? I don't know what this is. Not gonna worry about it. All right, dot files. Here we go. So dot files. Is a repo that we don't have, but we're going to set up right now. So, so if we look at, we go back to our browser here. We go back to my repos. Cool. I don't have any public repos yet. That's great. New repository, dot files. All right, great. I'm going to make this a private repo. Right. Visibility. Private. Doesn't need a README. Doesn't need a get ignore. Doesn't need a license. This is my repo. Cool. Now here's my repo. Awesome. Okay. Let me just make sure that's right. Yeah, it is. Okay. Now. Cool. Now let's switch to VS Code real quick. This will take me a second to get this, or to WSL real quick. Sorry. I already have a shell set up in my I already have a shell set up in my settings. So let's see. Select window to capture, so there's nothing here. All right. So we start up terminal, yeah, and here's the shell, basic shell config that we've got set up, right? Fine. Okay. There's the terminal, all right. I need to delete this. Okay, go to the terminal, plus window capture. Term. Goes terminal. Okay. All right. Properties. So now we've got our terminal. And I apologize that this is not super nice. Not appear to want to work with window capture. No. All right. There we go. There we go. I just had to force it to use Windows 10. Right. So this is the shell that we want to use, right? Okay. So we make our dot files directory. And install stow. Right, okay, cool. This is the stuff that we want to copy, right? Starship TOML and fish. Okay, so you run stow. And stow is the thing that will maintain like yeah. We'll maintain like symlinks. So what I want to do is stow minus s. Let me see here. See if the man page has examples. Uh-huh. Ugh, you suck. I really dislike how this shit works, honestly. Yeah. Oh, and on Command J, yeah, that's thanks for that. I need the actual arrow keys, which I don't have. Alright, fine. Mm-hmm. Symlink Farm Manager, great. Directory the tree containing all the sure. Yeah, they're trying to. Apparently, this was intended to be a like full-blown package manager, which I don't actually want, but like not reasonable. Okay, so yeah. All right. Fine. So the actual documentation sucks. So fine, let's hit up the. There we go. This. Yeah. Sure. Sure. All right. Yeah, none of the command lines you're giving me are actually the command lines I need. That's great. That's awesome. That's super useful. Okay. There we go. Yeah, so this is where the symbolic links will be created. All right, so I think what I want to do stow adopt stow. Okay. Ish config slash config. Okay. All right. All right, so delete that. All right. Okay, we got a bunch of shit there. Fine. Damn it. Okay. Okay, that's better. So what we're doing here is going through all this stuff. We're trying to make it so the stuff in this .files directory, right? Trying to make it so the stuff in this .files directory. I guess I realized that nobody's been able to see a fucking thing I've been doing. We're trying to make it so the stuff in this .files directory that we just made goes into our config, and then that will then turn into our dev container setup. So it's kind of annoying, but basically you go into your .files. And you create the file hierarchy you're looking for. Right. And then you do stow adopt stow fish Right, except first. Keep in this directory. I want to get rid of the fish variables. Right. So I don't want that to come along. And otherwise, I think we're good. Done. There we go. Cool. So we're going to adopt these files to those. Fish / .config / fish. Good. Okay. And then if we look at our actual directory, we still have fish variables, but everything else is symlink. Awesome. Good, good, good. Good deal. Now, do the same with Starship. Right. You want to use main. Okay, good. All right. Now we need to hook this up to our browser. Right, so we go back to this, copy this again. Our remotes, okay. Password for Nostra bar. Sure. 1 second. Password authentication not supported for you. Okay, fine. Fine then. Guess I gotta do SSH. Alright, so password authentication was not supported. So let's switch back to SSH. So you definitely want to use ed or better. Yeah. So you see we've got ed 25519 and ed 25519-SK. All things being equal, this is ed 25519 on like a key fob, which is kind of ideal. I don't have key fob set up, and I'm not going to bother with that, frankly. So Instead, I'm going to do add 25519. Okay. Gaming, which is this machine. Ah. Capital C. Come on. Right. Oh. All right, well, if it already exists, then I don't need to make a new one. Come on. All right, so that's the public key. Cool. Then we go back to my settings. Make sure this is already in there. Which it is. Okay, good. Fine. Awesome. Cool. Awesome. Made it. Good. So now we push to our .files repo, and then add this. Okay. Okay. It will take me a minute to get used to this fucking keyboard, I swear to God. So, I'm also going to add some git configs here. Okay. Make an executable. All right. Cool. So now let's set up the git. Cool. I need user stuff too, don't I? There we go. Yep, okay, cool. That's correct. Okay, fine. All right, so now back in VS Code, we're going to rebuild this container. All right, so SSH agent's not starting there. So what I want at this point is Cleopatra. We don't have. All right. When we like don't. Super annoying. All right, so this will give me a GPG key. May or may not do SSH. Don't care about Outlook. Yeah. All right. Cool. Install successfully. Awesome. All right, it's got a GPG key. Good deal. Now, we'll see if this works with Windows SSH. Cool. All right. Let's see. How do we do Windows SSH agent? Okay. So. Find my fucking key here. There we go. Right, sure. So I need administrator PowerShell. Fine. Got that. Yeah. Cool. See if this works. Cool. Running. Awesome. So now nice. Cool. Good deal. All right, so I don't need an admin terminal anymore. Don't need this terminal anymore. And I probably don't need this terminal anymore, actually. Awesome. Okay, now. Okay, I need to add the stove feature as well. Let's find that. Features. Like that. Yeah, I'm not super liking this, but okay, fine. So, yeah, also need to add stow. All right, there we go. Cool. Now, build our repository, and then we should have the shell. Might have to set that up separately, but it should be available. Let's see. All right, getting there slowly but surely. There we go. All right, now we're finishing this. Cool. Yeah, there we go. Now we have a fish shell. Almost. All right, dot files didn't fire. Fine. Let's find out why. Maybe it needs to be SSH. That's plausible. Yeah, okay. Alright, I will believe that. Yeah. So let's make this the Git via SSH version of this. Right. SSH. There we go. Alright. Good. Let's try reloading the container again. Oh, I bet I know what's going on here. Yeah, I probably did not. Yeah, I probably don't have this one here attached to my account. Oh, come on. There we go. Cool. Now let's try reloading the window. See if this pulls this up here. Damn it. Well, okay, that's Bash. Let's see. Does Fish have the right one? No. No. Damn it. All right. Okay. Hmm. Hmm. Well, okay, but it's not even cloning it, so that's not the right answer. All right, that works. So that's fine. I can actually dev in here. I just can't get my prompt yet. So let's figure out. I think that's right. I don't know. All right. That's fucked. Okay, is Stow installed? Yes. Okay, so Stow is getting installed correctly. There we go. All right. All right, so private repos and SSH should be working. At least as of 5 years ago. This, honestly, this is always fucking bullshit. Right? Okay. Desktop. Right. Okay. So it is set up to use WSL2. Share and get credentials with your container. Maybe that's it. Yeah, we got SSH agent in Windows. PPG for win. Right, there is no MNTC. Let's see. Okay, so there is an SSH auth sock that is configured there. Okay. And that should be talking to this desktop, which should in turn be able to talk to Cleopatra. Yeah. Okay. All right, well, let's start with this. let's just get this, okay. Now let's get our ISO file here. This is the August 11th file. Cool. Okay. Okay, and then, yeah, can stub this out. So the way this code is set up, defines these tests, which are just going to parse this XML file and see how many entries there are in it. Right, so that's basically how this is working. Okay, yeah, we got the yellow squigglies because of that, missing comma, now everything's good, fine. Cargo test, and this will fail because there's actually 2794 entries in there, which is fine. There we go. Cool, all the tests passed. Cool. It's gonna run pre-commit hooks. So, what we did there was we took this ISO 10383, we added the latest file, and we set up unit tests to ensure that when we make changes to our parser, which we probably won't, but if and when we do, we're going to end up with the same number of MIC codes, at least, by the end of it. Now we can push, hopefully. Yep, there we go. And we just pushed it. And then if we go back to GitHub, yeah. 3. Yep, last push is from me. Cool. Now this is running its CI, and it's going to check a bunch of things, do some cargo deny stuff. We'll look through this and see if anything kicks up a fuss, and if it does, then we'll fix that as well. But yeah, that's bare minimum, just updating this with the latest list. And then, yeah. Next thing is we have this types crate, which is not released yet. This did have some failures. All right, so what is this? CI failed for a bunch of cargo deny. TOML stuff, so that's fine. Yeah. Deny was canceled. Yeah, so CI deny for licenses was canceled. Yeah, so we should be able to look at this and see my stuff. Yeah, here we go. All right, so it was cargo deny failed. So fine, let's clean up cargo deny. All right, so let's see. First thing, deny TOML targets has been moved to graph. All right, so I guess we don't need that anymore. Come on. Okay, and then allow licenses. Don't need that. Don't need that. Basically, these are. Oh, we're not actually seeing these licenses in practice, so you don't need them. All right, and then cool. And this fails because parser is a wildcard entry somewhere. All right, so let's see. Probably here. Parser cargo TOML depends on any version of types. Okay. Let's see, dependent types.workspace. Fine, types.workspace. Just has the path, I assume. Yeah, right. Okay. So then we need to update this. Oh, okay. We're also going to update this as well, as long as we're here. Okay. So let's figure this out. So cargo deny. Fine. So let's Google this. Workspace crates. Yeah, I'd like to check allow list for workspace crates only. My dependencies. All right, yeah, let's just look at cargo deny generally. Better. All right. Cargo deny, sure. Bans. I think it's a ban. Yeah, let me go back to deny Tom. We'll see what we got. Yeah, wildcards deny under bans. Oh, that's not what I want. Come on now. Now see the book for that. Fine. Bans. Big. Okay. Workspace default features worn. External default features deny. Allow. Deny. Here we go. Bans.workspace dash dependencies. Okay. Okay. Hmm. Oh, allow wildcard pass. That's actually what I want. True. All right. Allow. No, just sorting this manually. All right. And that's all right. So we need to do cargo deny on deny recommit. All right. Da, da, da. Okay. All right, so we're gonna move these guys up. And we're gonna add this. Zero dot 18.4. Okay. Hooks. Okay. Okay, and this should open up a commit in this, in GitHub, in VS Code rather. Cool. Okay. Did not check cargo dependencies. Fine. Okay. Changes a build. Yeah, we'll just do this. Fans failed. I have allow wildcard pass, but this does not apply to public crates, says crates.io disallows path dependencies. Okay. Lame. Alright, well, hopefully release please will fix this then, because I need to put this version stuff into this. Okay, now we got it. All right, and then we fix that. Cool. And then we'll see if it actually works. Yeah. Okay, now we go back to my repo. Oh, this repo anyways. All right. All right. Been passed, that's good. Nice, also passed, very good. Test coverage, also very good. Okay, good. Now this should fire off another release, please. Now we're just running. Yeah. Okay. This is some automated release utilities. Hopefully this will end up working correctly. We'll see. All right. So yeah, we're just waiting on this stuff to finish. All right, so CI was completed. Okay. Good, so now we should have a green check here. Almost. What's pending? It's still doing. Failed to parse change log. Okay, so we need to add a change log to types. Yeah. Okay, cool. Cool. All right. Good. All right, so we made a little bit more progress on this. And more importantly, we got our dev environment set up. So that's cool. All right, last thing I want to do today then is upgrade this to 038.3. So what do we have here? All right, so I'll go create.io. Doesn't tell me what I want. So repository. Should be a change log. Yeah, here we go. All right, so we're using 37.2. So we were using this one. Cool. So add those. Debug. Byte static. Sure. Hmm. All right, so just little cleanups. It's fine. What? I mean, I guess if that was never public API, I suppose, but that's kind of jank. All right. Fine. So we can at least update this or try to. 8.3. Okay. Okay. Fix this guy up. That's it. That's good. Now, types needs a change log. All right, and then take this. Okay. All right. Cool. So, yeah, sorry. Looking at the wrong window, but yeah, so we just added a types change log, committed it, and pushed it. And so now, back over here on the browser, we should have this, yeah. And if we can get this green entirely, then, yeah, if this ends up being completely green, then I think I would be okay merging this, which has the new release. All right. Then the last thing that I want to do for this crate, which I may or may not do today, is just start building out a static crate, which is just the current month details statically accessible, right? So that includes like generating an enum off of this and some other stuff similar to that, like enum. Here's an array of mix, similar stuff to that. Yeah, okay, what is this? Okay. Okay, failed to publish types. Oh, because it's using a README outside the package. Fine. Okay, so... Yeah, so let's get this. Okay, so parser needs to be types. Everywhere. All right, and then parser README correct? I don't think so. These are all 0, 1, 2. That's what's actually been released. Sure. All right, there's also some other DocsRS stuff I want to configure as well. Not just yet. Okay. All right. Okay. For the RS line 91. Okay. Uh, what is this? Okay. Ah, right. Insert a question mark, Alec, I think. Here. Features optional. Yeah. All right, so. Default features, optional dependencies, sure. Dependency features. question mark syntax, package name, question mark feature name. Okay, fine. Cool. So then this is the right way to do that. Okay. All right, the issues we're fixing are readme file locations, contents, okay, and I think that's it. Cool. All right, now we see if this is good enough. All right, so we are our browser here. Yeah. All right. Yeah, this always depends on Surday, so that's fine. Types may or may not depend on Surday, may or may not depend on alloc, so that's fine. All right. Let's see. All right. Cool. Let's just finish this. Give it another 15 minutes. We'll probably call it the stream there. Hopefully this will be ready for release by then. Yeah, okay. Not great, but fine. Hey. All right. Then cape is force push. What was this? Oh. I see. 2 minutes ago. Okay, good. So then change log. Okay. Releasing both crates is 0.2. Nice. Very nice. All right. And then are there any actions running right now? Everything ready? Looks like everything's ready. Cool. So then, yeah, we're just going to merge this, and that should kick off the release. Cool. Awesome. All right. Now, that merge should be running its own CI. Yeah, it should be releasing. I see. Okay. Right, and so the way release please works is it's always going to update a release PR, I think. We're going to try and update a release PR, and it's also going to try and push a release. The release PR contains the version bump. And so when that is merged, then release goes. Otherwise, release is going to do all this stuff, and it's going to come back with, oh, there's no release chain. There's no release here. Like that's already been released, rather. Right. Okay. A little bit complicated, but I understand it now. Cool. I should get him to add me as an owner now. Now log in with GitHub. Cool. All of this. Okay, well, I'll pester him for invites after the stream. Hopefully we can get that done. All right, and please still doing its thing. Publish types. Waiting to publish parser. Publish parser. Fuck yeah. All right. So then this should be 0.2. Nice. With the dependencies and everything. Oh. Alright, I'll have to update that one again. Cool. But yeah, it does have that. It does have docs. Awesome. Yeah, these probably need better docs to explain how to actually use it. DocsRS is not finished processing yet, so that's fine. Cool. All right then. Awesome. Good stream. Managed to get a new release with the updated data. Release like ready with that with the types that have been previously created. And yeah, RS create page. It is actually a library. All right. Talk about types. Yep, just published. Nice. All right. Nice. Very nice. Okay, so then, yeah, nice. And parser, nice, very nice. Okay, I should have an example here that shows how to parse this. But yeah, basically you deserialize this using quick XML. And then you'll get a list of MICs, which contains a slice of MIC records, which are themselves all this stuff. Specifically using the types from types. Yeah, and then next thing to do is make legal entity ID use LEI. And then we can start doing static records for this stuff. Awesome. Okay, so this was a pretty good 2 hours. I think I'm gonna call the stream here. And yeah, thanks for watching. I will catch you all later.